Now, where I left off at, I was mentioning how a doctor came in there to check on my vitals and how she was saying, oh, I'm doing much better, and how it was gray tone. Now, we all know what gray tone looks like to the flesh. It's what color you turn when you're dead. Okay? So, but before that, I missed a vital moment. Before that, um, they was telling me what had happened to me. And they said I had to get a DNC, and that my placenta, my record showed that my previous pregnancy, that my placenta was attached to my uterus. But this time, with this pregnancy, it had grew onto my uterus. Therefore, it wasn't coming out. So I had to get a DNC. Y'all can look up what DNC is and the process that goes on with it, a procedure, should I say. And that's what had to happen. So they was coming to tell me that I had to make a decision on how I wanted to build my blood back up, because I had lost 1/3%, not 1/3, a lot of blood. I lost a lot of blood to the point of they couldn't release me, because if I left and fell out somewhere, they could get sued for letting me out knowing that I wasn't recovered or in a position to even be well enough to leave. So the options were I could be on medication to build my blood, my iron back up, which would have took 3 or 4 months. I could get blood transfusions. I would have had to get some blood transfusions. And there was another option. I do not remember. Oh, and she was like, or you could just drink grape juice or juices that's good for the blood, and that's gonna take many months. So it was one process that was short, which is the blood transfusions. The juice was gonna take the longest, and the pills was gonna be in the middle. So I'm like, I ain't taking no pills, I ain't drinking no juice. I didn't know too much about blood transfusions. My BD did. He didn't really say anything, but he did question them on, like, man, I don't know about all that. You know, I didn't know the awareness with blood transfusion, but I said, I want to get out of here. I already have been in there like a week, and I'm ready to go. And so I picked the blood transfusions. And they gave me my blood transfusions. Everything went okay. But afterwards, they said, hey, you need to get up, walk around, and let the blood, the new blood circulate within you. So just start moving or whatever. So BD was there. So we both walking in the halls. You know, had the little rail and just walking. And while we was walking, there was a black doctor who was at the end of the hall. And he was coming towards me. Or he was walking past, shall I say. And he was like, Ruthie. He said my last name. Ruthie. And I turned and looked at him. I was like, hi, how are you? And he was like, I don't know. He was like, I'm one of the doctors that performed on you. And I was like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. And he was like, I don't know what it is about you, but you was knocking on God's door. And I was like, really? And I started crying at that point. And he was like, I don't know what it is, but God got you here for a reason. And I was like, oh, thank you. So I'm crying, the doctor is crying, and we gave each other a hug. And my BD, he witnessed everything. So that was the first testimony of my passing. The second one was the gray tone. And the last one, another doctor came in. It was 3 doctors that confirmed my situation. And the third doctor came and she's like, oh, hi, how are you? I'm just coming to check up on you. I just want to let you know that you was real cold. And it's so good to see you back warm and doing better. Your vitals. She was like, you know, you actually is um, not the rehabilitating faster than anyone else would have under your condition. That's what she said. And I was like, what do you mean? And then she bent down towards me. My BD is literally right there. Bent down towards me and said, you know, we lost you for a couple of minutes. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. So she got back up. She did her little check-ins and things like that. She opened up the blinds or whatever in the room. And when she left, me and my BD, we just looked at each other like, okay. So I died. Because when I got out the OR, I was asking for my BD. I was like, wait, where's my kid's father? Where's my kid's father at? Because he was there when the 20 doctors, the room filled up. And when he came to me, he had mentioned how no one gave him no update or nothing of what had happened to me. So he thought I was dead. My baby daddy thought I was dead because no one told him anything. He was just sitting in the waiting room, not knowing anything. I was like, that was kind of bogus. But moving forward, 3 different people, 3 different accounts, 3 different testimonies on how I died and was revived. So for me being cold, gray, and dying for a couple of seconds, I was out of there. And I cried. But what I can say the hospital did, Swedish American, they gave me a card with all the doctors. I wish I still had it, but they gave me a card with all the doctors that performed on me, signatures in it, and a bunch of balloons.